Importing transactions with Copilot. To import transactions with Copilot, you need to first download your credit card statement or your bank statement. To do so, you need to log into your financial institution website. In my case, I logged into the National Bank. On this page, you can see all the latest transactions, and these are the ones I want to export. So I'm going to omit certain of those transactions. And finally, I need to choose which format I wish to export to. There are three accepted formats to import into Copilot. It's either OFX, QFX, or QBO, which are Quicken, Microsoft Money, or QuickBooks formats. So any of these three formats are acceptable. So in this case, I chose Microsoft Money. So I click on Export, and this will save a file that I will later import into Copilot. To do so, you go back into Copilot and you go in Quick Entry, Import Transactions, and you select the file that you've downloaded. In my case, I'm going to use a test file since I want to use a limited number of transactions for this demo. Since I've downloaded the statement from a bank account, the system detected it automatically and gives me the choice between all my bank accounts. In this case, I'll use the checking account. If I had selected it, credit card statement, meaning if I had downloaded the credit card statement from my bank, the choices here would have been for my credit card accounts and not the bank accounts. So I can now start the importation process. Now, as you can see, all the transactions are displayed, and I simply need to go in and select which account for every one of those transactions. So as you can see the date of the transaction, the type. So you have either deposit, withdrawal, check, debit card payment, or bank transfer, and the description as it is included in your bank statement, the amount, and you can select whether you want to impute taxes or not. The system will usually detect which type of payment it is, but you can always go and change it manually. In this case, for example, it's a withdrawal. So I'm not going to choose a supplier, I'm just going to choose occasional supplier, and I'm going to go choose the account directly. And since I'm looking for an expense account, it's in the 5,000s, and I'm going to go and grab other expenses. Here we go. So now what I'm saying is that the withdrawal was for other expenses, and I can decide whether I want to apply taxes or not. In this case, I don't. So I've decided to withdraw $100 for other expenses. In this case, this is the life insurance transactions. So I already have a supplier for this one, so I'll just go in and choose that supplier, and automatically the account for that supplier will be chosen. If I had multiple accounts for a supplier, I would have multiple ventilation lines here, and I could add to different accounts the amount and split it between them. And then I have the next transaction is a deposit. So in this case, it's money coming from a client. It's client 234. It goes directly in the sales account, and it does include HST. And finally, my last transaction is a check number 70, which is for $20. I'll just decide it's an occasional supplier, and this was for some telephone and cellular data. And it does include taxes. So once I'm done, I go and click on importation validation. The process is not completed at this point. We can still review what we've done in this table that allows us to review everything before we go in and confirm the changes and the transactions to be entered into Copilot. So as you can see here, I have the withdrawal, the life insurance, the income, salary, and the check. I can always go back and modify one if I see I've made a mistake. For example, the life insurance doesn't apply to HST, so I can go back and simply choose none, and then I can close, and it's been saved, and then I can confirm. And as you can see here in the history, I'll see the different importations that were done. If I had put a description there, I could see it. For example, the description could be statement for the last 14 days, well, more like from January 1st to 15th. And then here you can see all the transactions that you would do. You can go back and modify, delete them, or view them in the future. Also, if you go in and you go in your operations menu just to see, obviously since the transaction will also appear here individually. As you can see here, there's the withdrawal, the life insurance, and the check. And if I go in deposits, I'll also see the deposit that was included from the bank statement. So this concludes the segment for importing transactions with Copilot.